What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the MCU. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is going through a transitional multiversal saga, multiversal stage. Did you see what I did there? Unlike Captain America 4, people actually cared about Deadpool and Wolverine, and they want more, allegedly. And also they care about Avengers 5, Avengers 6, and Daredevil. Yeah, I'm joking. Guys, stop taking me so serious when I talk about Captain America 4. It's sarcasm mostly. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here if you are new around, make subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, or Monsterverse pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the content. Check us out on Instagram to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Although, I will be bringing the face camera, and I will be coming back on camera very soon. Also, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into today's video. So, this isn't breaking news, although I want to talk about it because I think it's very misleading and I don't believe it. And also, people that watch this channel, I read the comments, generally have common sense. So as we know, Michael Waldron was involved with Loki, what was Kang's Dynasty and what was Secret Wars. So, when the Russos came in, we went over a video over the last week or so saying that they didn't want to do it until they came up with an idea, and then bam, there was an idea, and bam, they wanted to do it. So a new report has come out saying the Russo brothers scrapped Michael Waldron's script and story for the Avengers 5. Captain frickin' obvious! To me, this sounds like a made-up report. You're telling me the Russos wanted to bring a brand new story in. Okay, that is interesting. But you can't scrap Loki Season 1, Loki Season 2, what happened in Ant-Man 3, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and also all the multiversal connections we have, including Shang-Chi, including Miss Marvel, including the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2. So to say they've scrapped it all, they're rewriting it, and they're doing it all from scratch. And then the article also says that it's going to have a delay, but there's no delay. It starts shooting in March. They've made it clear. They've literally said it. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch himself, has literally said he's shooting Avengers 5 this year. So it's all right saying, yeah, they've come in. They've got a brand new story for Avengers Doomsday. So does this mean the end of the MCU is actually Doomsday? Because realistically, when you chronologically, I know Marvel movies don't actually come out chronologically. They actually, are they going to reboot everything in Doomsday and Secret Wars is a new storyline? So to say that they're going to completely scrap everything, it's a bit misleading. Because in order to scrap everything, that means whatever they are planning to do with the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, if they had any connective tissue to the Kang's Dynasty, or what was known as Kang's Dynasty, it would mean they would have to completely reshoot the ending of the Fantastic Four. So I'm not buying this whole, they've re-scrapped everything. They can't have done, because Doomsday was to set up the Avengers Secret Wars, and we know it's most likely going to coincide with the Hickman run of the Secret Wars comic book, loosely, because let's be honest, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame wasn't really comic book true. So these comic book nerds that will come out saying they know everything, you're wrong. So yes, I somewhat agree. They have rewrote most of it, but because of the whole setup with Loki Season 1, Loki Season 2, Deadpool Wolverine, like, we know that Robert Downey Jr. and the Russos signed on before July, right? But it wouldn't have been much earlier than, say, early 2024. So it's complete cap, complete nonsense. They can't have rewritten and scrapped everything. Sure, they're going to bring their own story in, which I love, because for mostly Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were epic. That scene where Chris Evans really holds the Avengers massive dramatic pause and then says, "Assemble." There are some iconic scenes in that, you know, the Scarlet Witch scene where Scarlet Witch essentially gets destroyed in Infinity War, then comes back to freaking body Thanos. She could have body Thanos, but they nerfed her, just like they nerfed the Hulk. So many good parts. Yes, the Russo brothers aren't perfect, but their work outside of Marvel is pretty bad. But the work they've done inside of Marvel, we can't really dispute the fact that the Russo brothers, along with Stephen McFeely, They know how to bring the A game to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this whole, they've completely rewritten everything. It's got to be nonsense because as we said in the prologue, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Miss Marvel show, Shang-Chi, Fantastic Four movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. They can't scrap everything. It just can't happen that way. So parts of Wolverine's storyline will obviously just be reworked, rewrote, and yeah, maybe different, but they can't scrap things that were already set up because whatever happens in Doomsday, it will have to coincide with the whole multiversal saga, unless they're going to scrap everything and it would just start on a complete new story. And if that was the case, Marvel would not be releasing Daredevil, they would not be releasing Captain America 4, they would not be releasing Thunderbolts, they would not be released in the Fantastic Four movie. So somewhat the report is a bit condescending and a bit misleading. We just know the Russo bros are going to bring the fire and they reckon the story is perfect. So also in the news, I will cover this, although I do think this is absolute nonsense. Let's break it down. Hugh Jackman plans to remain in the MCU as Wolverine for the next decade, including a new trilogy. So, as we know, Deadpool and Wolverine is the highest grossing R-rated movie, right? Cool story. $1.3 billion. But if you actually put that in line with actual all Marvel movies, it still does well. Now, this movie didn't sell on the whole multiversal ploy that a lot of these movies will sell on. It was sold on the fact of nostalgia. It was sold on the fact of killing the Fox universe off, which is why most people went to watch it. They thought they were going to kill the Fox universe off, but realistically, they rebooted it because what did you get? You got X-23, you got Gambit, you got so on and so forth. In the ending scene, would a second Deadpool and Wolverine movie work? I don't think this would be the case. And also, this would have to be the case after Avengers Secret Wars. Now, we know every Tom and Larry will appear in Avengers Secret Wars. I do find it really strange that all these scoopers keep coming out with their actual scoop saying, Gwyneth Paltrow is going to appear in Avengers Doomsday. Warstu is going to appear in Avengers Doomsday. Scarlett Johansson is going to appear in Doomsday. Elizabeth Olsen is going to appear in Doomsday. We've had the big trades saying Chris Evans is going to appear in Avengers Doomsday. So on and so forth. Doomsday is going to be that big. Be expecting everybody. Andrew Garfield, Warstu. Oh, sorry, we've said that. Tobey Maguire, everyone. But just like Spider-Man No Way Home, I do not think another team-up movie with Tom Holland, with Tobey Maguire, with Andrew Garfield would absolutely bang on the scale it did. So to come out and say that we're going to get a trilogy of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, I'm here for it. I just don't think the storyline would be good enough. So a scooper came out and said the Australian actor is not even close to being done and intends to play Wolverine for the next 10 years. I mean, cool story, bro. Even if that does just include Doomsday and Secret Wars, that'll be the next 3 years. It's interesting because we know we're going to get a soft reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. I do believe some legacy characters will stick around, but we don't currently have an Iron Man and we don't currently have a T'Challa Black Panther. But according to recent rumors, no one is got the cojones, as we would say. No one has the nuts to take the mantle up as Black Panther because they know the backlash you're going to get because it'll be seen as being disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman. It wouldn't do. Even his family wanted Black Panther to be recast, but Marvel were too soft and they went too easy and were like, no, we can't recast. We're just going to have him have a son, which is cool, but you can use the multiverse to introduce a new T'Challa. And if they wanted to recast, you know, the whole iconic Avengers characters, they could do it in the Secret Wars movie if they wanted to. I personally don't think a new Iron Man movie with a new Iron Man is going to bang, so on and so forth. I don't think a new Captain America movie would bang with a new well, we're going to find out that in Captain America 4, aren't we? And I read I can see what you guys say in the comment section. And really, do you really think that? That's so petty that you guys keep saying that. I'm just a realist. I tell you what you need here, not what you want here. I just think there's been so many different rewrites with that movie. It's not going to work. They rewrit Doctor Strange 2 multiple times, and it only just worked. I don't think it can work with Captain America 4 because you don't have Scarlet Witch, don't have the people in the movie. There's no star power, although there's no star power in Hollywood as a whole. There was a little bit of star power in Doctor Strange 2. So this article, it's mostly made up, mostly baloney, but we know we're getting a mutant saga. Kevin Feige himself has also said, yes, we're just trying to see where we can fit Deadpool and Wolverine going forward. It's about if it makes sense. And it doesn't make sense to make a Deadpool and Wolverine 2 just because it did $1 billion. Go back to pre-2019, pre-Endgame. Every Marvel movie did $1 billion. Captain Marvel 1 did. Spider-Man did. Every single movie was getting close to $1 billion. So I don't think we're going to see multiple Deadpool and Wolverine movies. Like I don't think we're going to see a Gambit movie. Channing Tatum is an absolutely great actor. Put him in a movie. Give him an extended 10-minute role. But I don't think Gambit should get his own movie. It's not going to work. I don't think you should chuck stuff on Disney Plus for the sake of it. It's not going to work. So I'm very much looking forward to whatever Avengers Doomsday is going to be, but I'm not buying it. The storyline's still got to coincide. There's got to be an opening scene where Kang gets decimated because Kang's been pinnacle for the last 3 to 4 years since they introduced the whole storyline back in Loki Season 1. Loki Season 2, we know, was an imminent threat maybe of the incursion that was teased at the end of Doctor Strange 2, and is also the threat that's going to be teased at the end of Captain America 4. Sure, it's changed, but Kang is still out there. The TVA are still monitoring him, and the general audience and normies will be like, yo, what's happened to Kang? So if there's no explainer in between either Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, or Fantastic Four about what happens to Kang, the general audience will be like, yo, what happened to Kang? Did he get sucked up into the Beyondverse like a lot of people seem to think? Like, even if that did happen, we need an explainer somewhere down the road. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And just like I do with Marvel and DC, I will criticize and critique things heavily if I feel like it needs doing. It's not me hating on anything. I'm just being a realist. I'm not going to say that all these reports about Captain America 4 having major reshoots, having bad test screenings were fake, because it was true. Just like the Superman stuff. There have been test screenings for Superman, and the feedback is not very good in the sense that it's not blowing people away. So I will report the positive and the negative. I'm not one of these channels that are going to pander just because I like something. Just like Godzilla x Kong, just like Godzilla vs. Kong. I love that franchise, but I criticize everything. That's how you know if I like something, because I will criticize it. I'm not going to pander to any fandom. I would just say what I think. Sure, I want Marvel to do great. Sure, I want DC to do great. Sure, I want pop culture as a whole to do great. Sure, I want Hollywood to do great. But if a storyline is bad, I'm going to say it's bad. I think Moana 2 is pretty cool, so I'd say it's pretty cool. You get me? People that have been watching this channel for years know exactly what I'm like. I do not pander. Sure, there's this persona I have on the channel, but mostly I'm being sarcastic. You just got to get the vibe here. Cool. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram. Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.